sent this letter to every single Marine in the United States. Just sent this letter to every single Marine in America, letting them know, start preparing right now because we are about to send you to war. Let your families know, let everyone know that you are going to war in Iran. And if you're 18 to 45 years old, you should expect a letter like this, even if you have never participated in the know that you are going. The United States just sent this letter to every single Marine in America, letting them know, start preparing right now because we are about to send you to war. Let your families know, let everyone know that you are going to war in Iran. And if you're 18 to 45 years old, you should expect a letter like this, even if you have never participated in the military, because the United States is going to send a draft to everyone. The United States just sent this letter to every single Marine in America, letting them know, start preparing right now because we are about to send you to war. Let your families know, let everyone know that you are going to war in Iran. And if you're 18 to 45 years old, you should expect a letter like this, even if you have never participated in the military, because the United States is going to send a...
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all glory, all honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone who rule well and teach well in sincerity and charity. Peace and salutation unto the Lord's beloved elect. I'm the brother Yosef Barak. And Lord willing, this may be edifying, this quick lesson. And you can see it's time. It's time. Get ready. You know, people are going to start being sent out to war. You know, and we've been warning y'all people, man. We've been warning y'all people. We've been talking about the destruction of this present temporal and evil world, starting off with Babylon, the belly of the beast, the hub for wickedness. And you people just wanted to scoff and mock and think that everything was just going to continue to get better and better. Well, you're wrong. It's getting worse and worse. This is the book of Matthew 24 and 6 through 7. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So what are we seeing right now? This is happening right before our very own eyes. All right, we got the conflict with Iran, Iraq. All right, you got Afghanistan, Pakistan fighting. You got different nations, man, coming together, all right, and forming alliances, man. And you have certain people leaving from certain alliances, as you can see with what's going on with the U.S., all right? These countries that were once rocking with the U.S. are starting to deflect. They're starting to step back, pull away, because now they're starting to see, man, that superpower, that delusion of a superpower is nothing but a lie, all right? Nothing but a lie. And this guy DJT running around, you know, all prideful, thinking that he can just steamroll and bully different nations. He's been met with the strong arm, you know, from these other people. These people are coming up against him. And ultimately, this is all from the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai is allowing this to happen in the first place, all right? And it's a good thing that this guy is here. Let's then bring the Lord. It's a good thing that this cruel Lord is in rulership right now, right? Because guess what? It's speeding up the time that we are delivered out of this place. Time is moving by swiftly. I want to bring this quick Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? And, you know, the Lord is using Esau, Edom, and these people in the elite rulership right now, pulling the strings, you know, to ultimately bring forth these prophecies. And now we're seeing war speeding up at an all-time high. It was just the beginning of March that everything was smooth sailing, man. Nothing was going on. And then now we're in a full-blown war. We are in World War III, whether you want to see that or not. But we are, you know, and and whatever these media outlets and people say, they're covering up a lot of what's really happening right now. But, the prophets and the men that are following and discerning the times, all right, measuring the times diligently, are seeing, man, that we are at the end of the world. All right, it's clear as day. If you can't see that, then ultimately you've been blinded. All right, but this is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has created the balance between good and evil. And right now he's setting forth evil. All right, these evil principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places is starting to run rampant at an all-time high. All right, and this is just a wake-up call, man, for all you Israelites out there that want to just have your head up your ass and think that you could just do whatever the fuck. The Lord will come like a thief in the night, all right? And you don't want to be caught up, all right, and, thrown into one of these drafts. Because ultimately, man, the Lord is going to determine whether you get put in a situation like that to begin with. And if you're under the Lord Psalm 91 shelter, all right, if you're under the shadow of his Almighty, he's going to protect you with peace. Right? He's not going to put you in situations that are going to, be your downfall, man, if he's really dealing with you. Now, you could be in certain scenarios and the Lord's going to protect you. Each and every brother is going to have their own lot. Point I'm trying to make is that if the Lord's really dealing with you, he's not going to put you in harm's way to the way that these 2/3, man, these heathens are essentially going to be set up to die by. They're going to be set up to die in a pretty divine fashion. Let's just say it that way. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. All right, so you're starting to see, man, things are moving swiftly. All right, things are moving fast. There's times where years go by and nothing happens. It's just quiet. Now there's months, weeks going by where it feels like things that would happen in a span of years are happening in a span of weeks. All right, a couple days. These are the times we're in. Joel 3:9-10. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right? So let's bring that out in the NLT. And you're starting to see these nations that were once considered weak, man. Nobody really gave a fuck about them, or didn't think of them to that regard as a superpower, are now starting to rise up, man. They're really giving the U.S. a hard time. They're giving DJT a hard time. And, the U.S. is in a situation right now where they can't really go back, or they can't go forward. And they're not going to declare that they've been defeated. It's not going to happen. Normally what they do is they just keep calling more troops, more men to die at war, more sacrifices, all right? And they just keep stretching it out, right? Because they don't want to declare defeat. Psychologically, that doesn't look good on a superpower like the U.S., because there's catastrophic effects that happen afterwards. But I'm speaking as a man. We'll see what happens according to the way that the Lord wants to let it play out. The point being is that these other nations are starting to come up against the U.S. and they don't care anymore. All right, they're not gonna stand for the bullying. All right, and this means that a lot of men and women are gonna be thrown out into the battlefield. All right, they're gonna be thrown out basically as pawns, man, as little puppets to just be shed, man, to die for these elites. So you got to pray and hope that you're not caught up in a situation like that. Ultimately, like I said before, the Lord is going to be the one that's going to determine that and protect you. And this is a time when you got to really be sober. You got to be really vigilant, all right? Be sober and vigilant. Also, not a time to really just be going out and just doing a bunch of, just different things. Don't dwell in many matters. This is not a time to just be going out and jet setting and just doing whatever the fuck you want. Thinking that you're just gonna just live on like nothing's going, like nothing serious is happening. Now, this is a time where you got to be very vigilant and watch around, man. Be sober, be prayed up, right? Because the devil's running around right now. He's running rampant, seeking to whom he may devour. This is 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right, so Satan is looking to see who he can devour during this time. But the Lord's men, the elect, are going to be protected. The Lord is not going to allow them to succumb to Satan's wicked schemes. Scripture say in the book of 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, so we understand that all this going on right now is nothing but Esau's, man, devilish schemes. But ultimately, the Lord is setting Esau up in the first place to do that. All right, and you know, this is gonna just lead one step closer to the mark of the beast being ushered out. Because when you see wars end up being tied to famines because there's blockages of certain straits like the Strait of Hormuz, and all that ties together. And you're gonna start seeing very soon that they're gonna be cutting off the electric. You know, and Lord willing, I'll get into that in another lesson, do a little quick lesson about that, Lord willing. But they're gonna start cutting off the electric. There's gonna be no stores, no food. Then you're gonna start seeing people go real crazy. Zechariah 14:12. For I will gather all the nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. So what's gonna happen, man, when these sleeper cells come out of the woodwork? All right, when these prisoners start getting let loose, because what's gonna happen, man? All right, I'm speaking as a man here, but don't be surprised if something like that happens, where just people start going fucking crazy, and the Lord controls all things. So he's gonna start creating these spirits for vengeance, which we'll get into right after this, to go, man, and ravage shit, go into stores, man, loot stuff up. Where there's no food, they're gonna start looting your house. They start coming to your house, your property. They see your woman, they see your kids, they're gonna wanna ravage that too. They're gonna grape them, all right? This is what's gonna happen, man. Let's go to spirits created for vengeance. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai set up these spirits in the first place, all right? And these people can walk around their whole life being calm, not bothering anybody, just smooth sailing until one day the flip switches and they start bugging the fuck out. Might be your neighbor, all right? Might be your coworker. And they're starting to look at you, man, with those death eyes, and they want to inflict harm on you, all right? I'm speaking, you know, out here just in general, man. This is why it's important to just be sober and vigilant, man, because you're not going to know what's going to happen during these times. This is why you got to really rely on faith, that you got to just anoint yourself in the oil of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, anoint yourself with the protection, continue to pray for grace and mercy, and hope and have fear that he just protects you, all right? Because if he's not protecting you, if he's not dealing with you, he's not encamping angels around you, ultimately you're going to succumb to one of these, you know, spirits of vengeance or just judgment in a brutal, wicked fashion, all right? And we got to pray that that's not us, all right? It's because times are going to get really scary, man, but we got the Lord on our side. So we don't gotta worry or fret. 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. Reading on down, all right? For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort that they creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, and led away with diverse lust. All right, so this just goes to show you, man, the mindset of the people of this world. All right, the people of this world act and behave in this manner. One way or another, you can take a word out of that and apply it to the way that somebody that doesn't have the Lord acts in this world. Completely clouded, like a chicken with their head cut off. And that's what's going to happen to you people, man, that don't want to hearken unto the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and receive his word. You want to scoff and mock, you'll reap what you sow. All right? For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So you want to reap to your flesh, you're going to reap corruption. You want to reap to your spirit, you're going to reap everlasting life. All right? Because the times that we're in right now are severe. All right? You don't want to be a 2/3, man. All right? Especially you don't want to be a heathen. But if you're a heathen, that's it. It's over for you. It's over for you. There ain't no hope for you if you're a heathen. But if you're, you better hope that you're not a 2/3. And that you better hope that you're of the elect. Pray. Put on as the elect. This is why it's important to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. We understand the times. We're measuring the times diligently. We want to do everything that pleases the Lord with all of our heart. We want to stay in this, man. And this is why it's important also to not get caught up with the distractions and affairs of this life. And I'm speaking for myself here. Man. There's a lot of things that can cloud you out. At certain moments, you got to get yourself back into the spirit, man. You got to examine yourself and prove whether you be in the faith each and every day. And, it's easy to get caught up in the distractions, the people around you, and expect to see a lot more of that. Expect to see a lot more of Satan's wicked distractions and schemes try to come your way to throw you off from doing the work of the Lord, because Satan understands and hates a prophet, man, doing what a prophet is meant to do, walking in the designed role that the Lord has, and he's going to try to stop you every single chance that he can get. All right. And I want to read on to this as well, make up a point in the book of Luke 21 and 25 to 26. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. All right. So we saw that blood moon pretty recently, right before that war took out. So the Lord is showing this through signs, through earthquakes, right, through floods. Continuing on, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right, so these men, man, they're going to grow weary, they're going to go faint, man. These macho men that thought they were all big and bad with the guns, they thought they got the muscles, man. The Lord's going to pop those muscles real soon, man. It doesn't take nothing for one of them Ishmaelite war childs, man, 7, 8 years old, man, a war helper, just run up to you with a bomb with the AK-47. That's a lot that's gonna happen to a lot of you wicked ass 2/3, man, that are being sent to war, man. And these men, their hearts are gonna fail them for fear. They're gonna, all that macho talk, man, all that big and bad with their chest puffed up. Oh, nobody can stop me. I'm unstoppable. These 2/3 dreadhead demons, they're going to be met with the sword, man. Momentarily, very soon. You're going to start to see that, man. People that you once knew, man. People that you grew up with dying, man, at a level like never before. With this draft coming about, which is it's gonna happen soon, man. These military men are smoking. They're trying to fail their drug test. They're refusing going to their battle, to their war. They don't want to fight. Right? These other nations, man, they're prepped. They've been bred to go out, man, and just sacrifice their life, man, for their country. They want to go to war, man. They see the U.S. as just being one big fucking joke. All right? Genesis 6 and 11, the earth was also corrupt before Yahweh, and the earth was filled with violence. Right? The earth has always been filled with violence from the beginning of time. As you start to see, after Adam and Eve, man, that is the world has just been constantly with violence, man. But now it's at a time like never before, right? Now it's at a time like never before. A time like never before. In the book of Matthew, chapter 24. All right, Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. All right, so that just basically hits the nail on the hammer. Like, what's coming? Jacob's trouble. There's going to be a time, all right, like never before. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be fatality, man, everywhere. You're going to start seeing dead bodies all over the floor, man. Nobody's ever seen a dead body before. Majority of people never seen a dead body, let alone a dead little baby's head chopped up and just mutilated and crushed. Skulls crushed and blown out all over the floor, all right? People being ravaged with their guts all out, spilled over the floor, all right, in the front of your street. What's going to happen when you see that? But these things will come to pass, man. This just goes to show, man. The prophecy said so. The Bible said so. So we're prepared, man. The men that are sincere, the men and women that are sincere serving the Lord are preparing, man. We're continuing to improve our faith muscle, improve ourselves, be prayed up, be ready, be sober, be vigilant. Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But on the left-hand side, man, you're going to start to see, man, families turning against each other. All right? Friends turning against each other. Women turning against each other. That's why it's important too, man. You can't trust anybody, man. If they're not with the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, don't trust them, man, because they could be, overtaken by all sorts of spirits and demons. And you're going to start to see that, man. Don't be surprised, man, if your closest family members or friends, man, end up taking the chip. end up doing something that's very irate because they don't have the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai dealing with them. But you do. All right? Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right? We've warned them, man. We've warned them. We've done what we have to do. And there's going to be a time and a point where the roof of our tongue is going to, our tongues are going to be shut. We're not going to be able to prophesy anymore. So this is the time to do so, man. This is the final call. Either you hearken on to this call or you don't. Either you wake up and you repent, or you don't. And there's a lot of, people straddling the fence, man. Neither hot nor cold. 2nd Esdras 15 and 15, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right? 3 things. Sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's 4. It's going to be destruction at an all-time high. And the Lord is intricating this, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see the Lord's judgments taking place because we hate wickedness just as much as the Lord hates wickedness. Right? You don't think the Lord's a jealous power? You don't think he's fed up with all these people committing adultery? All right? Woman taking advantage, man. Taking their kids, taking advantage of their kids. All right? The earth just being defiled, the animals, the beasts crying and sighing, just as us. We're prisoners of hope, man. We realize that this world is not our rest, as the book of Micah chapter 2 and 10 goes into. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. For it is polluted, and it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. All right, so we see that this place is nothing but a polluted, wicked, shit fucking world. A fucking goddamn shithole. All right? And excuse my French, but I don't care, man. It's a goddamn fucking shithole. All right? And we hate this place, man. And we want to see this place get ultimately destroyed. And we pray and hope that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai comes sooner than later. But we're staying ready, man, whenever that time comes. And this is a wake-up call, man, to stay ready. Always stay ready. Always stay in the spirit, man. Always have your armor on. It's very important. It's imperative. Because if you're not under the Psalm 91 shelter, you're ultimately going to get destroyed. All right? So, with that being said, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ruach HaKadosh. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well in sincerity and charity, peace and salutation unto the Lord's beloved elect. Shalom.